that we did that was down by USC. Let me start small and then I'll build from there. So this is actually a duplex with a house in the front, small house in the back. Here's the former owner.
I know that guy.
Here's Sam and I, the proud new owners of this dump down by USC. This is what the living room looked like when we opened the door. Yeah, but this means nothing. I mean, this is nothing. You clean it up, put in new carpeting, new windows, new drapes. Looks a little better, doesn't it?
A little bit.
Yeah. Here's the bedroom. So this is, you know, people say they rip out stuff when they leave. In truth, they don't. What they do is they wait to the very last second, and then they leave, and they leave everything behind. These tenants, or this is a former owner. So look, they left the bed, they left the mattress, they left the sheets, they left the blankets. This family was so heartless, they left the kid's doll. Actually, this family left the kid. The kid was right behind the door there. Did the house get the kid? There it is, cleaned up.
Come on.
This is the kitchen. We got rid of all these chutkeys, who are just ridiculous. Cleaned up, put a brand new floor in, and looks a lot better. So let's see. Bought it for $482 and sold it for $592 90 days later. Hard to believe it's the same property, right?
When you put
But it is.
30, 40 into it?
Yeah. So turn to the person next to you and say, I can do this.
I do this.
Maybe you can't right now, but when you get healed, you can. What we lose. All right.
The brains.
We lost flipping California. All right, so everybody get a piece of paper. I want to show you the flipping formula we're going to use to buy these properties. All right, you need to pull out your phones. We're going to do some math calculations. All right. So after repaired value, ARV, let's just assume the ARV on this property is $800,000, and you can adjust your numbers. It's the percentages I want you to appreciate. Okay? So closing costs, 1%. How much is that? 80. All right. And then rehab costs. I have done all the different calculations of my deals, all my students' deals over the year. We're running, on average, about 14%. How much is that? Blake, you got a calculator there?
Yeah.
A phone
Yes,
that works? Somebody do the numbers. Is it Mike? What's your name?
Gabe.
Gabe. See how close I was?
112.
What?
112?
No. How much?
112,000.
What?
Ah! Is that what you said, Ken?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. 112,000. All right. Holding costs.
Yeah, just looks
2.5 because we're going to probably hold this 4 to 6 months.
holding.
How much is that?
20,000.
20,000. Good. Then we have selling costs. We're going to turn around and use a realtor to sell this property. That's going to be about 5%, not 6%. And then I have another 2% in there for my closing costs and other costs, marketing. How much is that?
56,000.
56,000. Good, good. All right, my minimum profit on these deals, I want to make 10%. Some of my students make more. Every now and then somebody makes less, but this is the goal, to make at least 10%. How much is that? 80. All right, good, good. Now, total cost, add those all up. What do you got? What do you got, Ryan? 2 Ryans.
Is it 376?
Call the Ryans, sit in the same row from now on, and make it easier for me? Jesus. That's so confusing.
Is it 376?
No, don't guess. Somebody, add them all up.
276?
What?
276?
276?
276.
Yes, very good, 276. So subtract 276 from 800, and that will give us our maximum offer on this property. 524. You see that? Now, let me tell you a trick. Take 524 and divide it by 800 and tell me what you get.
All those numbers? 0.655.
Right, round it off to 0.65. So here's the mantra, write this down. We never want to pay more than 65% of ARV when we buy a house. Understand that? If we pay 65% or less, then the other 35% is going to cover all of our costs and our profits. Everybody see that? Isn't that easier to figure out when we're putting in offers? That's how you put your offers in. All right, Act 2. Act 2, how to fix a house. These are the fun parts, right? Right, Jeremy? How to fix them? This is the fun part. We're going to work on our foundation, on our roof, extermination. Cal does this all the time. This is your daily work, right?
Love it.
The electrical, the kitchen, the bathroom, the furnace and AC, the windows and doors, landscaping. Did I skip anything?
Yeah.
What?
Paint.
Painting, right?
Yeah. Sucker repair.
Yeah, all those things. And then what we want to do, this is important, write this down. We want to add value. We want to do something extra to the property to increase its value. What kind of things could we do to increase the value? Cal, help us here.
Patio cover, arbor, barbecue area.
Barbecue area, that's a good one.
Pools are kind of not really worth the money anymore.
No, you mean a pool? No, never. Ryan, were you saying?
I mean, you could split the house, you could add units, you could
You do an ADU now, right?
JADU.
More than ever. Jeremy, how about you? What do we do to add some value?
Might open up take down a wall, for example. Like
Yeah, open floor concept. We're doing that. You'll see that I just did that on a house in Tarzana that I sold. Yeah, those are all the things we do to add value. All right, good. So with that in mind, let's look another one, a house. This is in, this was North Hills, San Fernando Valley, North Hills. This is the kitchen. I buy these homes that are already got down to the stud. So I like that because there's no demo. Think about that, right? And normally most people are frightened to get involved with a house like this. But take this kitchen and make it look like this. We put all stainless steel appliances in, new cabinets. We use granite on this level of a house. Here's the bathroom. So you see this design, looks like weeds growing up along the wall. You see that? Yeah. You know what that is? That's weeds growing up along the wall. Here's a bathtub they were using as a toilet because the toilet was broken and they didn't bother to fix it. They were using the sink as a toilet and it was breaking off from the cabinet underneath. So they asked me what to do. I said, "You kidding? Just gut the whole thing and start over." So brand new bathtub, new tile. We made the window larger. Brand new toilet and a brand new vanity and sink. Here's the living room. Ripped up carpeting and sliding doors to the outside, which was nice. But ripped up carpeting and there was an arched ceiling, but they had painted everything over. So what I did was I put in all new floor. This is a beautiful plank floor, and put in drywall in between the beams, and then painted the beams so the whole ceiling now popped out and came to life. So this was my partner, Joe, on this, and this was Juan, our contractor. Here's our picture before. Here's our picture after. I bought this place for $530,000. You saw what it looked like before, and sold it for $725,000. Good deal? Any applause in the room for this? Anything? This room, we need to give this room coffee. We need to wake everybody up. Yeah, but everybody has to force feed coffee. I was in Japan right before the pandemic. Anyone ever been to Japan? Amazing place, right?
Yeah.
So I was in Japan and they brought me over there. I spoke in Tokyo, Kyoto, and Osaka. And the thing you need to appreciate about Japan is that Japan is only the size of California. But the population is the population equal to the United States. So if you think about it for a second, if you can imagine if the entire population of the United States was all in Japan, how densely populated Japan is, one of the most densely populated places in the world. I was in Bali. I thought that was an island, remote island with lots of ground, and yet Bali is incredibly populated and density, but Japan wins the award for the most density. Because of it, there's no room to build out, so they build up. So everything is built up. So shopping centers are like each floor is a different store, and you go up and down the floors. So the rooms, as you can imagine, the hotel room, it was like a Holiday Inn, but the actual hotel room was the size of a bathroom in a normal Holiday Inn. And the bed took up the whole room. I said, oh my God, this is the room. Where's the bathroom? He said, behind the door. I was afraid to go. And you go in the door to the bathroom, and the bathroom is so small. It's the size of like a closet in a normal hotel room. Here, probably. And in the bathroom, the toilet and the sink are together. They're like the same apparatus. So the sink is here, the toilet is here. If you're a guy, you go to the bathroom, wash your hands at the same time. I swore to my girlfriend I wasn't going to tell that joke, and I told it anyway. And then the shower came right up from the sink and up like this. Wow. Of course, it's Japan. I'm 6'2", and everybody else is 5 foot. So the shower was like right here. And I had to figure out how to get under the shower. So anyway, you stand above the toilet, and the shower is here. And when you take a shower, the water goes all over the bathroom because it's so tiny. And the drain is right near underneath the toilet. So it was so absurd the first time I did it. And then I was there for 2 weeks. Like every day it got better and smarter. And then by the end I said, you know what? This is a great idea. It's so efficient. Everything's in a small little cubicle and everything is connected and the water just goes underneath. And so when I come home, I'm going to do this here in the United States with my properties.
That's how it is.
What do you think?
Like a motorhome.
Right?
Yeah.
So this has a future. Remember, you saw it here first. Okay, time to pick a contractor. All right? Now, if they look like this, you don't want them. You don't want them like this. Now, which guy here is not a contractor?
Yeah. The one in the middle.
One on the left.
Let's try that again.
Yeah.
Billy Crystal once told me, if you tell a joke and nobody laughs, tell it again, and then they get the idea. And then pretty soon they laugh at even your stupid jokes. I guess this is a stupid joke.
Kind of like a Norm joke.
Okay, so here's the contractor. What I want to do is be able to pick a contractor, and that's a really important part of this. Here's finding contractors. It's a case study. This is Billy up there in Sacramento. I attended Lloyd's boot camp 2 months ago. It was incredible. Shortly after, I purchased an REO in Sacramento, rehabbed it, flipped it in 46 days using my tickets. Lloyd taught me how to find houses, how to fix them up, and how to hire general contractors and subcontractors. And that's Billy Trainer in Sacramento. Here's a house we did in Panorama City in San Fernando Valley. This is what it looked like to start. Once again, I love them when they're like this. It's already been demoed, right? This is what it looked like after, all cleaned out. This was the living room floor, and it was this old tile all cracked up. And so what I said is, I had the guys start to break it more. This took days to get all this broken. And then what we did is we put in beautiful hardwood floors. Does that look nice?
Yeah.
This is the kitchen. The cabinets were already falling down all over the place. What I did is we put in all new cabinets, put in a garden window, stainless steel appliances. And if you notice, I left the tile. We just had it all cleaned up. But we left the tile, saved some money. This is what the bathroom looked like. So do you think I should put a Japanese bathroom in here?
Someone's got to do it.
So you can see the shower was here, the vanity was here, and the toilet, I think, was somewhere right here. So I reconfigured it by putting the bathtub shower here, I think, and ripped all this out. Am I right? Yeah. So I reconfigured the window, got rid of all this, and put the window up high. put all new tile, new bathtub. I guess I left the toilet right here and then made this an extra large sink that came up the whole length of the bathroom. So the bathroom laid out much better this way. Doesn't it make more sense for a layout? Yeah. So here's my partner on this deal. This is John. He's a bookkeeper, but he actually loved getting involved. So he did a lot of work. He was working hard. I worked hard too on my tan. Here we are. He's breaking bricks. I'm celebrating Cinco de Mayo. Someone had to do it. I volunteered. Here he is fixing electricity. I was fixing electricity, but we'll go on.
Get a room.
Bought this house for $645 and sold it for $998. Thank you. This is case study number 4. This is BB Landry. This is BB. This is her husband, Terry Bradshaw.
Had to go there.
I couldn't help it. At Lloyd's Boot Camp, my husband and I learned how to fix and flip houses. Within weeks, we were able to buy a single-family residence, previously valued at $700,000. Thanks to Lloyd's techniques, able to get the letter 27589. Spent $35,000, fixed it, flipped it in 38 days. Fabulous deal. They've now flipped. Actually, now they're done 8 properties. We sincerely recommend boot camp. You want to flip houses, don't know how to get started. BB Landry, Ventura, California. You know these guys? You know? No?
I will now.
Sounds good.
Act 3, we can just summarize this stuff really easy. Flipping houses. Now we're going to sell it. So, quick flip. Number 1, hire a realtor. Number 2, price it right. Number 3, stage it. And number 4, market. All right? Now, first of all, we love realtors. So here's the thing you need to appreciate about this. We don't necessarily, now that I've shown you how to find deals, we don't need realtors to find us deals. But we always want to use realtors to sell our deals, okay? So always make a note that we're going to, when it comes time to sell, we're going to use a realtor because that's the only way we know we're going to get top price. The minute you don't use a realtor and try to sell for sale, do a for sale by owner, the buyers are going to say, oh, you're not using a realtor, so we're going to pay less. So don't even go through all that aggravation. Just hire a realtor. So much better. Number 2 is price it right. It's so crucial in this market that you price the house correctly to start with. Okay? So then what's wrong with this photo? And you see what's wrong with this photo?
Yeah, it's not Bob Barker.
What's that?
It's not Bob Barker.
You mean it's not Lloyd Segal?
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Oh, this is Robin Mills, Manhattan Beach. Never flipped houses before, but after Lloyd's Boot Camp, I flipped 2 properties in rapid succession. First, I did an equity purchase, the distressed homeowner in Whittier, and flipped it. Then I found a short sale down the street and made a great deal. I've now flipped 2 houses and looking for more. Lloyd's incredible mentor. He's always accessible and his techniques are easy to understand and apply. Robin Mills, Manhattan Beach. This is Jerry Nisek. Never flipped houses so fast. George and I attended Lloyd's Boot Camp. Who's George? The very next week we found a distressed homeowner and made a quick deal. They did. They found a house, I think in San Bernardino, gave her $5,000, took over a mortgage payment to Wells Fargo, brought the loan current, spent only $30 rehabbing it, and they sold it in like 5 days. Put it up and just, whoop, 6 months ago it was sold. Lloyd's incredible mentor. We can go back to the boot camp again and again. No additional cost. Jerry Nisei in Riverside. So here's the boot camp. Everybody have the brochure? Take it out for a second. I'm just going to go through it very, very, very quickly. If you go to this page, oh, here's some photos of the boot camp. I almost forgot. Here's what it looks like. That's me. The chandelier is about to fall on my head. Area are taking questions. So we do a special thing with realtors. So if you're a realtor, we use the realtors, we torture the realtors during the boot camp. So you can see what that looks like. Here's the dates. February 5th, I was going to tell you the breakdown. On Saturday, fine and finance. And then on Sunday, how to fix and how to flip. The dates. These dates are in flux, so don't hold me to these dates. I think Susan is reworking the dates. They may move around because of the pandemic. February 5th is LA, March 5th is in Ventura. But again, that may change. The cost is real simple, $497 for one person, $900 for two people. And the guarantee we're going to make you is you're going to flip a house in the next 60, 90 days. Anyone curious what I'm flipping right now?
Yeah.
Hello? Anybody
You
here?
want to see?
Yeah.
See?
What's that?
Yeah, I want to see.
Okay, let me show you. So this house, I just sold this house about 6 months ago. So this is, it looks great from the outside, right?
Yep.
Shirley Avenue, Tarzana. Anybody know where Shirley Avenue is in Tarzana?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, so it's 4,600 square feet on a half acre. This is it, this half acre. Did you see this house, Linda?
No, I didn't.
You never saw it, Sam saw it. Has an Olympic-sized swimming pool and a jacuzzi and a waterfall here and a gazebo and a half acre that goes all through here where I couldn't keep my workers from playing soccer here every day. You could see where the goal was. And this was a private road, driveway right here on the other side of these streets, a private driveway that leads to, remember the actor David Carradine who died, asphyxiated?
Yeah.
His widow, right? His widow lives in a house right here, and it's a flag lot, so that the only way into it is this driveway. Was that a question?
I was going to say, it's not soccer, it's football to those guys.
Oh, that's true, that's true.
It's technicality.
Anyway, beautiful house, but here's the problem. This is what it looked like on the inside.
Ooh.
I bought it gutted like this
Oh, wow.
for $1.4 million. I bought it for $1.4 million gutted.
Was just somebody got into it and couldn't,
Yeah, another one of my members, the LA Lyric Club, started on it and then realized it was much too much for them to swallow and then offered it to me on actually through a wholesale deal. And this was the kitchen. This was a door, if you can see a door leading to the dining room. I said, no, let's close this off and we'll make that a bedroom, an extra bedroom, and we'll put the dining room on the other side of this kitchen here. And this was where the island was. So, and this was the sink with the window looking out over the backyard. So here's what it looked like when we were finished.
yeah, there you go.
How do you get to the bedroom? Around the corner?
Yeah. Well, there was second floor,
So, yeah.
bedrooms on the first floor, second floor.
Uh-huh. Refrigerator,
Want to see that again?
yeah. Yep.
So all new cabinets, oversized island. We put this, I put a Sub-Zero here, Viking stainless steel, farm stainless steel sink, and this was where the door was to the dining room, is now where the Sub-Zero was. And there's the hallway that leads down where the bedrooms are on the back. Got that?
Good.
And we put in these, took wood and put rafters, and we distressed them with the hammers and then stained them so it looked really authentic, like an old English cottage. Yeah, Dan?
Do you have a creative decorator that helps you with some of this stuff, or you actually do that? Are you amazing?
Well, when I was in law school, I was reading interior design magazines. I was reading Architectural Digest when I should have been reading my law books. That's like why my grades in law school were shitty, but I was drawing great stuff.
How long did it take?
About 6 months. Maybe 7 months.
Oh, lady.
There's the master bedroom. So there's a fireplace behind this door. This was the fireplace. And I decided to move this wall here on a slant to parallel this wall so that this is the bathroom. This is the door leading to the bathroom. And there was no reason to have a door, I realized. What do we need a door for? You know, the bathroom had doors to where the toilet was and to where the shower was. So I just took this door, we took this door off completely, and I made this closet larger, and I put the wall on a slant so it paralleled and mimicked this wall, which was on a slant. And the bed the master bed would go here. So this is what it looks like, and also it was a double-story ceiling. You can see how high it went. Does that look great?
Oh, the fold-up doors, hey.
Yeah, those are western doors. So there's the door now to the bathroom, double sink. That wall now with an oversized mirror. Here's the bed. I use these wide plank wooden flooring. And then these are called western slide doors. What do you call these, Cal? They glide
Yeah, I call
effortlessly.
it bullets. It runs about $1,000 a foot most of the time.
Yeah, they're a fortune, but it really opened this whole area up to the outdoor backyard. From up here, you could watch the soccer games perfectly.
Football.
The football games, sorry.
Well,
Here's the living room. So notice we had to set up these wooden beams to hold everything up as we put in railroad ties to make the living room look great. This is what it looked like after. So I put railroad ties here. Remember now, all these used to be rooms with walls. It took everything down and opened everything up. So the living room, dining room, kitchen, the hallways are all one big open area like this. See, the kitchen's back here, living room's here, double story. And this was a second floor balcony that was collapsing. So we had to reinforce. That's why we put all these beams up to reinforce the floor so the whole second floor wouldn't cave in. The city inspector came in and balled us out because he thought this was not done sufficiently.
Yeah.
So we had to double it up on it. That's what it looks after. Anyway, bought it for $1,400,000 and sold it for 2.2.
So 400 and
Turn to the person next to you and say, I can do this. I can do this. You can all do this. You can all do this. Here's 3 people who didn't sign up for the boot camp. You don't want to be like them. And I'm going to close today with what I think is just the ultimate saying when it comes to real estate. I'm sure Dan will agree. If you've been doing this long enough, Linda probably agrees too. A year from now, you wish you had started today. Any questions? Go ahead, fire away.
Maybe it was just these examples, but I noticed none of them were like roof or foundation. Is that something you stay away from?
Oh no, if it's a foundation, I'll stay away from it. I've had properties where once I get into it, I realized now there is a foundation problem. I've had that twice. Camille and I, you know Camille, right? Camille Marsh? Camille and I bought a property at the trustee sale in El Sereno. You know where El Sereno is? You don't want to know where it is. It's over by Dodger Stadium. And we had inspections, and there was no indication there was something wrong with the foundation. And then when we sold it, their inspection came up with a foundation problem, which is so frustrating at the last minute. And so I have a foundation guy, great guy, Will Crawford, if anybody wants to know a name. He's great for foundations. And he came out and he said, yeah, Lloyd, there's a problem with the foundation on this house. No, but we didn't know because we bought a trustee's. So the buyers backed out and we said we'd let them know when we're finished. They came in, took 6 months for them to fix the foundation, and they had to cut out whole sections along the side and reinforce everything. And then we put it back up on the market. We still sold it and made money, but it was probably about another $10,000, $15,000 of foundation that had to be corrected. On this house, the house this was the original house going back to the 30s.
Yeah.
And then, you know the actress Juliette Lewis? Right?
Mm-hmm.
So you know her father, Jeffrey Lewis? Do you know Jeffrey Lewis?
Not so much.
Jeffrey Lewis was in Any Which Way But Loose
Oh, yeah.
with the monkey. right? So he owned this home, and this was the original home, and then they built this second addition. So when the city inspector came in, the foundation, Blake, they said this part of the house was not properly laid foundation. And so they made us, before we could sell it, we had to dig ditches and put in rebar along the whole hallway in the middle. Again, that was another delay we had to deal with. But
Was it just,
you know, one thing you learn about fixing properties,
Middle one.
he'll tell you, is that you have to figure three things. You ready? Number one, write this down. Number one, it's going to cost more than you thought.
Yep.
Right, Cal? It's going to
Yeah.
cost more than you thought. Number two, it's going to take longer than you thought. And number three, something will go wrong.
I could add so many more.
What?
man.
Well, question,
Sure.
when you talk about realtors marketing, what would you expect out of a realtor as far as their marketing is concerned, besides just putting it on the MLS?
Well, in the good old days, we'd want open houses, and I'd want some marketing in publications and in social media, and a ton of videos on YouTube. Certainly don't want, open houses right now don't make any sense, right? So I'd want to see a lot of social media.
So you probably want to take a realtor that has some examples of having done that.
Right.
Okay.
And I did a house in the Hollywood Hills on Courtney Avenue, and I switched realtors because the realtor I ended up using showed up and showed on all his properties. He was doing a video a week on each property. Really impressive stuff.
well, I was just gonna bring up, the worst one I had was for another investor where it was on the avenue in Ventura.
Mm-hmm.
She had already bought it, and it was totally overgrown. I mean, you could barely find the front door through all the junk. And she goes, well, there's a little bit of a smell to the house.
Uh-oh.
Well, as soon as
Never
you
a good
stepped
sign.
out of your car and stood in the street, you could smell the rat pee all over the place.
Yeah.
We got in there and started working on it. We had to tear all the drywall off because we killed over 50 rats that was still in the house. They were climbing over our boots while we were tearing the drywall off. The neighbors killed another 20 or 30 on each side. And they had chewed through all the electrical, so we had to redo all the electrical. We're down to bare stud. And any of you guys that do rehab, there's a product called Scoshi 10X, SCOE 10X. You can only find it online, but for 160 bucks a gallon, it's the best stuff you'll ever find. That you can spray it on there, and within 20 minutes, it's an enzyme that gets in there and kills the smell and makes it safe again.
Yeah, there you go.
So,
We've all got our war stories. I did a house in Glendale, up in the hills, and there was a laundry room, and on the outside of the laundry room was a vent, and it seemed strange to me that there were always bees flying around the vent window, the vent on the outside of the house, just always bees. I never thought about it, and then somebody came by and mentioned this, said, you know, you may have a bee problem with the way the bees are flying around. So I called a bee eradicator, a bee trainer, a bee, what do you call it? A bee what? Bee inspector. I found a bee inspector.
Don't say exterminate.
Yeah. Well, then you may not want to be exterminated, you just may want to be
Get in the mood.
a bee eradicator, I don't know. So he shows up and he's got all this apparatus on, and he puts on this giant garb. He looks like he's going to go underwater. Big hat on with screens and meshes. And he looks and he goes, oh, there's a problem on the laundry room on the inside. So he comes in the laundry room and he looks at the vent, and the vent comes into the laundry room and into like a ceiling, and there's a drop ceiling. He goes, oh, there's the problem. So he says, okay, if I rip out all the drywall. Sure. So he takes a hatchet or whatever, I think it was a hatchet, and starts to rip out the drywall. And he's so shocked by what he sees that he goes, oh my God, he screams and he falls back. Now, this is a bee eradicator. He sees this shit every day. And he's so shocked by what he sees, because what he sees when he opens up the drywall is an area the size of like a barrel with 1 million bees. And most of them are dead. And they've been behind this wall forever, and they would apparently had built a honeycomb thing and somehow got cut off. And they were escaping through the vent outside and then coming back in again. And he had a call for backup, which I thought was pretty amazing for a bee eradicator. And 3 more men came in uniforms. And it looked like a scene out of, what was the movie? Ghostbusters. And they ripped out a whole drywall, and they just pulled all these bees out, dead bees in these barrels, and took it off. It took 2 days to clear out all the bees and everything. And it was just the most, we had photos of it because we couldn't believe how crazy it was. And then had to repatch and do everything again. But when the bee eradicator tells you it's pretty bad, it's pretty bad. Anyway, it's all a fun part of it. It's the fun part of doing this. Any other questions? No? That's it? Thank you. You've been a good audience. Thank you.
Thank you, Lloyd.
At least they weren't Africanized bees.
Yeah, thank God.
Well, there's some good stories, I'll tell you.
Oh,
That's, I'm very, very impressed, Lloyd, that creativity and your architectural design and what you can do with these properties is just like overwhelming. I look at that and I go, that's the first place I'd have to start, is hire somebody like you, because you've got to have, you know, some natural ability to be able to do that. And I've seen some of the work that Jeremy's done, and I went, wow, where do you guys get this talent, you know? So thank you so much for sharing that and showing us, you know, all the good information and the help that you have to provide. I want to thank you all for showing up here today. I really did think that we'd get a few more people in. We didn't. That was just quite surprising, but we've got it on video. I know you guys did a great job taking notes. This will be up in a couple of weeks, so if you missed something, you can go back and look at the videos. It'll be up on YouTube. Everything goes up on YouTube. And I've gone back many times and went, oh, that's how they did that, or this is what they said, or whatever. So it's very helpful. We probably won't have, now we're back in doing this. We do it about every other month. So we'll be back, this is January, February, March. We'll probably be back in March. In the meantime, get a hold of Lloyd. As you can see, he's got a lot to offer. Get a hold of me, text me, whatever. We're here to work with you, do whatever we can to make it all work. Okay? So thank you very much.